We as a mutual fund distributor, we would love to grow our AUM or AUA, that is asset under advisory, as soon as possible, because that is only going to be helping us in getting more and more revenue. And in this video, I'm going to touch upon how you are going to be acquiring wealthy or HNI clients so that you can take your advisory business to next level. I'm going to touch upon first what changes you need to do as a mutual fund advisor or distributor, and then what should be a lead generation strategy so that you can fast pace acquiring wealthy or HNI clients. Hello everyone, I'm Shobhit. I'm a Finbiz growth expert and founder of Finbiz Growth Club. We are an aspiring community of new age mutual fund distributors who are determined to change how India invests. So first, let's talk about what changes or improvement we need to do as a mutual fund distributor so that we are able to convince our HNI clients that we are the right guy to manage their hard-earned money. So the first and most important thing which we need to work upon is on our communication skill. Please remember, we are going to get a very short period of time to convince our customer or HNIs that we are the right guy. And in that, our communication is going to play a very important role. Now, you need to keep in mind that we don't have to be master in each and every aspect of this business or economy. But whatever we are going to discuss, we need to be proficient. We need to talk in a language which our customers or prospects are able to understand. So what you need to understand, you need to simplify the jargons which we learn from our mutual fund companies. We need to talk to them in a language which they are able to correlate. So this is going to come from practice, but I want you guys to keep in mind that communication is going to play a very vital role. Another important thing you need to keep in mind, communication is not only verbal. Communications are also non-verbal. You need to be keeping in mind the way you are going to speak is also going to play a very vital role. So start working upon communication skill before you are going to venture out and try to get wealthy clients for your advisory business. Another important thing is trust building is very, very important. Now you need to understand most of the HNIs can't give 24/7 time to monitor their wealth. They need somebody whom they can trust for whatever services they are going to avail from them. So whenever you are talking to them, you need to be keeping in mind that for them, return of money is more important than return on money. So whenever you are discussing with them, you need to keep in mind that you are not going to use fancy jargons. You are not going to tell which is not realistically possible. You are going to give them a fair assessment. You are going to give them a fair idea, practical insights, which he will be able to correlate with. They are least bothered about 50% returns on their portfolio. What they are more concerned about is they are not going to get any unwanted shocks in regards of the defaults or bad investments. So you need to keep this thing in mind that whenever you are interacting with your HNIs or whenever you are prospecting HNIs, you are going to be very practical and realistic, which is going to build trust with them. Then the third point which I want you guys to understand, you need to be understanding and making very clear why your client need to invest. Now, whenever you are going to be meeting any HNIs, it is well understood that they don't require money to generate huge returns because already they have sufficient amount of wealth with them. So you need to understand the purpose beyond return because of which they need to have your advisory service. So it may be because of some financial planning for their future generation. It may be because of for some charity purposes. It may be because of some personal emotional thing for which they would like to do some future planning. So what you need to understand is you need to be spending a lot of time with them. You need to understand what should be the real purpose for which they need to invest. And if you are able to find out the real crux of the matter, if you are able to find out what should be the reason for which they need to invest, I think you are going to be reaping the benefit. So don't pitch upon that you will be able to generate X return or Y return. Instead of that, you need to find out the emotional touch point for which they will be excited to invest in. The another important thing which you need to keep in mind is the transparency which you are going to be maintaining with your client. Always remember, we are very uncomfortable as a mutual fund distributor to talk to our client that how we are going to be compensated. Please understand, it is never about the price but the value. What you are going to get from the advisory which you are going to do for your client is immaterial until unless you are making very clear what is the value which you are going to be adding to your client. So you should be very transparent that how you are going to be compensated, how much you are going to be compensated, and if your client is going to be paying you that either directly or indirectly, what is the value you are going to be offering on the advisory side. So if you are able to get the proposition right, believe me, you are going to win the confidence and trust of your client. Other important thing which you need to keep in mind is you should be very well organized. Most of the HNIs have so many things on their table that they want their financial advisors to be very well organized in terms of the communication which you are going to be doing with them, and also in terms of documentation which you are going to be doing with them. They don't prefer you to go back again and again to them in terms of getting papers signed, in terms of various kinds of investment communication or advisory communication. So you need to be very systematic that when you are going to approach, what are the reasons for which you are going to talk to them, what are the paperwork which is going to be needed, and you need to be very, very methodical on each and every aspect whenever you are going to be meeting or communicating with your client. Now, other important thing which I want you guys to understand is for HNIs, taxations are going to play a very important role, because most of the HNIs are into highest tax bracket and the tax outgo is going to eat away their lot of returns. So you need to be very particular that what kind of products you are advising to your client and whether they are tax efficient or not. So you need to be very clear that why you are giving XYZ product to your client and how it is going to be helping them in reducing their tax outgo. You need to be very clear what kind of product or services you are going to offer to your client, because that is going to be impacting their tax outgo, and in return it is going to lower or increase their final return. So work upon their taxations and various products which you are going to offer. Now, the last and most important thing which you need to start working upon is you need to understand what is your differentiating factor. Why the HNI should give their money to you and not to some established player. You need to be making your value proposition very clear as how you are going to be different, or you are having a additional mojo with you which other participants in the markets are not having. And if you are able to give those insights to your customer, if you are able to ego massage them very well, if you are able to convince them that you are the guy who is going to be building trust and taking care of their wealth without taking undue risk, then I have no doubt that you will be able to get lot of wealthy or HNI clients. So these are all points you need to be working on yourself before you are going to venture and want to get new clients or HNI clients for yourself. Now, once you are fully prepared, how you are going to generate leads for getting HNIs. First and most important thing to generate leads for your mutual fund distribution business from a HNI point of view is networking is very, very important. You need to be networking with those people who can get you introduced to HNIs. Most of the HNIs or wealthy clients don't like to deal with those advisors with whom they are not having any cross reference. So you need to start networking with as many people as possible, and preferably with those who have a good network with HNIs. Because once you get a reference from them, then it is going to be helping you in getting connection built. So start networking from today itself. An idea should be to network with those who are friends with the HNIs. Another way to get wealthy clients is to ask for referrals from whatever existing resources which you have. And referral should be in terms of introduction, because introduction is going to be helping you in getting build the relation faster. So look at your own customer list, look them who are good clients or who can introduce you to wealthy or HNI clients. And if you are able to understand who can do that, and if you can ask them for any introduction to them, I think it is going to be helping you in building your HNI clientele at a much faster pace. Another way which you can do is you need to be very active in your social circles. If you are active in your social circles, you are going to get lot of cross references. Start meeting people, start interacting with your known ones, and with those interactions, you are going to get lot of ideas whom they can introduce you, or in terms of if they know any HNIs or industrialists who are having good assets and who will be needing advisory service from you. You need to be also very active in your sales and on ground activities. This means what? You need to be doing lot of activities for your business purposes. You need to be sponsoring some events. You need to be talking to some events. You need to be interacting on the social medias, because you never know from where you are going to attract the right kind of investors for your business. So start networking, start asking for referrals, and then be active in your social circle. And this way you will be able to generate leads. Please understand, in this business, you don't require 1,000 clients. 100 quality clients is going to pump up your business like anything. So in nutshell, I want you guys to first prepare yourself to get and convince HNIs that you are the right guy, and after that start going into the market, start networking so that you can close the deal. I hope I have given you some food of thoughts. I hope it is going to prepare you well for going into the market and acquiring HNI clients. In case you love the content, I would love you guys to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel so that you will be the first one to know whenever we are going to publish some new content in the future. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to see you next time.